not notice the mind control at all. I should have kind of read that because that Arbiter really went down very quickly, but I just did not see at all what happened. I kind of lost it for a second, then all of a sudden it just died in front of my eyes. But mind controlling that Science Sizzle and putting down defensive matrix on Arbiter, that's awesome. It's just awesome. Thought it was going to be for feedback, but honestly, mind control makes so much more sense. Well, rather, it's so much more fun. So finally, some tanks and voltage are going to come up and clear up these goons here at the upper left. Meanwhile, now a couple Arbiters here at the front, going to get a couple of stasis off. Not that great. Meanwhile, Zealous is going to run in. Mines. We do not fear mines. EMPs go off on the Arbiters, but I don't think Cal's going to have quite enough. Another stasis on some more tanks. Still don't think Cal's going to have enough. Going to force a float, though. There was a command center there. Going to force a float. MVP going to be mining off 3 now. Should pick up the upper left-hand suit again as well. Right now, just Arbiters shooting at those tanks. And Goons coming in to pick off the Vultures at the lower left position. Cal might be thinking of picking that up again. But I honestly feel that the amount of bases he has already is pretty good. He has outmined his main and his secondary. His natural expansion probably not doing very well either because he's been going like crazy. Weapons won't upgrades on his Arbiters, interestingly enough, just to make those a little bit more effective in combat. Don't know the intelligence in that, but hey, EMPs goes off. Arbiters become a significant amount more vulnerable. Fly away! Fly away! Or something. Auto probe somewhere as well for Cal. Oh! Fleet beacon. 7 core. No upgrades on the way anymore, but I'm wondering whether maybe just readying himself for a possible turn into carrier. Could be a fake out. Just hey, here's a fleet beacon. Get a bunch of Goliaths. That'll be worthless. Not get too sure, but we will see. I've seen MVP actually fail. Basically, see a lot spot carriers, a heavy carrier build. I think it wasn't even on this map against Best, but spot a heavy carrier build in its infancy and still lose. It's kind of horrible. Just got his. I think it was MVP, and I think it was this map. I'm not against Best. I'm not too sure. My memory's kind of shot, but had that build spotted in its infancy before it was even on the way. Just so the Stargates and the Fleet Beacon were coming in, and he eventually lost, did not prepare himself. It was kind of bad. But more Stargates coming in, so it does look like Cal is going to transition into carriers, and it looks to be in a fairly decent position to do that. Picking up a base, I believe, yet again at the lower right-hand position. There are some forces there from MVP, though, so it could be pretty bad. And apparently Cal's thinking of recalling this upper left-hand yet again. Well, SCVs this time now. Screw you! We're not running away this time. Oh, well, then you die. Or not. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing Arbiter and carriers together flying around, being annoying. It's going to be fun. Only Dragoons and Arbiters actually flying in close, trying to just deny that new base from coming up, or delay it as long as possible. Decent stuff. Force a cancel there, so that's mission accomplished. Run back home. A lot of tanks here to defend at the front, and that's a bad thing, actually, when you think about the fact that there's a lot of Stargates out there for Cal, and I think just one-click carriers is going to be enough for him to do the damage he needs. He is going to be able to go pick up the low right-hand base again, and MVP Mo now going to push across the map, trying to pick that. So I think he's going to go and try to deny that, try to do what Cal did to him earlier in the game. The 12 o'clock, inside 12 o'clock, and the natural expansion, going to try to push towards and do the damage. Now, the question is, will the carriers come out? If the carriers come out in time and get saturated, I don't think they're going to come out quite in time. So I think it's actually a great window for MVP to do some nice damage. But is Cal going to be a whole bit? Oh, nice stasis. Wow, look at that. Bunch of another stasis. This is just going to hold MVP back completely. Beautiful. Beautiful there. MVP going to go, I'm going to do some damage. No, wait, no, I won't. Armor 1 weapons 1 upgrades now for aerial forces for Cal. Some Goliaths here at the back going to be able to pick off that Arbiter in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe not. And Cal, I think, is going to back off soon enough to pick off those tanks as soon as they're on stasis, or maybe the carriers will even do that. Bunch of Goliaths still coming in, so MVP does know carriers are on the way. Is he going to know it now in time? Is he going to be ready in time? Because Cal is going to have ground forces to help. But those tanks and science vessels have got to go down. Yeah, unstasis right now. Unfortunately, Dragoon's not quite in position. More Zealots coming in close, so they might mop this up. Might. Now they'll go 2 shirts. Some of the tanks are going to manage to unsiege in time. So a bunch of them will go down. Not all of them, but a bunch of them do go down. So that was an absolutely beautiful stop right there by Cal. This push is going to be continued, but now it's half of it is Goliaths and half of it is tanks. So this base still might go down, but no way it's going to go into its natural. One carrier flying out. What are you doing? It's going to get picked off right there. Jeez. One carrier, Cal. Come on. You know better. You know better, friend. You know better. Come on. Is there fun? Yes, finally I recall here at the upper left hand. Cal feeling, you should not have another base. You really should not have any mining. Go away. I love this match. Seriously, I love this. I love PvT. It's sometimes slow, but so exciting at the same time. So much stuff going on. Cal finally has reestablished his old right hand. Will eventually go towards the natural. I think he has even a pylon there. Picks off a command center. Nice. And actually, MVP going to go beyond the X, trying to pick up the upper right hand base here. A bunch of probes that are actually been idle for an age. But carriers are very close by. A few carriers are very close by. Not quite sure whether they're enough to actually engage those Goliaths. But they're close by. Actually, the Goliaths are just going to run away, and 3 tanks going to float in there and try to do the damage that they can. Observer going to get spotted by a Science Fizzle and picked off by the Goliaths. There you go. Yay, I read something right. I guess. I'm wondering whether Cal will actually be able to defend this lower right hand, because as the game goes on, I'm wondering whether Cal's move into carriers was actually smart. Because MVP has had preparation time. He has a lot of those Goliaths. A fake out would have actually been a better idea right now. There are some Dragoons that went to his upper right hand position. That 2 o'clock and actually managed to mop that up fairly well. And meanwhile now, Goliath's going to move on to the lower right-handed position. There are going to be carriers, the only thing to defend against this, but it's going to be enough. Tanks and Goliaths are going to be able to pick this up, no problem. And Cal actually looks like he's losing some mining. Doesn't have that much mining going on. Meanwhile, has picked up some mining off MVP, and I'm wondering how important resources are at this point. Let's see, the Arbiter went down. Cal just desperately trying to get his interceptor count up as high as possible to try to engage these Goliaths. Running in some Zealots down there would have been nice, but actually he's going to go down and push up across MVP because he knows if he survives the lower right hand, if he does this damage and survives the lower right hand, he's going to be able to win this. Just try to get as many carriers as possible, as quick as possible, and then fight off. 1 cannon as well to help. Yay, Goliath go down. It's actually consolidating his carrier count. Has a lot of these forces at the upper left and is actually not utilizing at all. It would be a big boon towards the attack, but not really. MVP doesn't really have anything at all to defend back home. So as long as Cal survives, I think he's going to get back into this. He hasn't really invested in a lot of carriers from what I can see. And I think he should be able to actually, does not penetrate all the way to the natural, actually decides to go to save his lower right-hand bases just in case. Does have only a few carriers to help defend against this. Not enough to engage, low interceptor count, not enough to engage these Goliaths. He's going to be forced back. And Cal totally forgetting about this upper left-hand forces, kind of disappointing me. 2 mini gateways, bunch of probes, not really doing much of anything. Should go and start mining somewhere. Maybe just pick up a random base at the 6 o'clock because he's losing his carriers. He's losing the 3 o'clock base. He's losing most of his mining. And if this is Cal losing, I'm going to be just so pissed off. MVP is losing his last minerals, and Cal just has to stay alive. And this is actually a good way of doing it because there's almost nothing at that 9. A bunch of interceptors on this one. Not many Goliaths, a few tanks, and troops are going to just pick off those tanks, move in with a ground force. That's going to be it right now. Move in with a ground force. And he's totally forgotten about the upper left-hand forces, which I'm kind of disappointed about. I don't know why he's forgotten about them, but that's going to be it. MVP does look like he's about to GG. Just hasn't done enough damage to the lower hand. Picked off 2 bases there. Very nice there, but he doesn't really seem to be doing much of anything. And he's lost his last mining, lost no more resource intake at all for him. And whatever he has on the ground, the huge Goliath number in those tanks is the last thing he has. So you might run back with that. Either going to run back with it or try to run towards Cal's base because right now, yeah, it's exactly going to run right up and try to do something there. But Cal still has resources. He still has some mineral intake. Not much, mind you, but he has a little bit of something from that inside 12 that's kind of saving his butt right now. Just waiting at home with Zealots and a bunch of High Templar because if he storms over those Goliaths, that's going to be it. Those carriers are winning him the game, and MVP's... I almost thought this game could have been a turnaround because MVP did some nice moves, but just not enough. I think these few forces are not going to be enough. Zealots running in, some storms coming off on top of the tanks. Tanks goes on, more storms. Should be even more storms on top of these Goliaths. Zealots coming close to engage, and I think that's going to be a win for Cal right here. Another storm on top of these Goliaths. This is going to be the last forces, and MVP GG's. Cal moves on to the round of 30. I'm sorry, of 16. Yeah, Sweet 16, I guess. So, wrong in the predictions, but Cal and Light are the players I wanted to move on, so I'm actually pretty happy. Looking forward. Looking to be a pretty nice MSL so far. I'm still looking for that big upset in the round of 32 because it always happens. It's always there. But, maybe for once we'll be kind of lucky. You never know. So, yeah. GG, guys. Wrenching out for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Bring you more games on Friday. Next games are played on Thursday, but I assume they're going to be source vids are going to be a little late, and it's my girlfriend's birthday, so no way I'm going to cast that day. I like my balls where they are, attached. Later, guys.